Carlos the Jackal arrived in court in an armed convoy. He's partway through a life sentence for triple murder. This time he's being kept away from the cameras. But 11 years ago, a glimpse of a man who was an icon of the international guerrilla movement. Once one of the world's most wanted men. The Venezuelan was born Illich Ramirez Sanchez. In the 60s, his millionaire father moved the family to London. He fostered his extreme beliefs at Patrice Lumumba University in Moscow, famed as a training ground for leftist revolutionaries. In Lebanon, he joined the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine and adopted the name Carlos. He's the chief suspect in the 1975 hostage-taking of 11 oil ministers in Vienna. He's on trial now, accused of 4 bombings in France during the 80s. 11 people were killed and nearly 200 others were wounded. After the fall of the Berlin Wall, Sanchez was running out of safe havens, and French secret agents caught up with him in Sudan in 1994, smuggling him to Paris, where his wife is now representing him.
He's in a fighting spirit, as always. 30 years later and 17 years after he was kidnapped by the French, there's no reason that the judicial institution that depends on this state should be used to try someone for propaganda and to serve other interests.
Victims of the bombings want answers, and many French people want closure.
I think for the French state it's an attempt to turn the page on a key phase in international terrorism. Carlos the Jackal was the Osama bin Laden of his day. The French have never forgotten what he's alleged to have done against French targets.
If found guilty, Carlos the Jackal will likely spend the rest of his life in prison. Andrew Potter, Al Jazeera.